Excuse me, so you had a question about, you were wondering about the recording at the beginning. I think nobody mentioned the Judge Pauley case, in which at the Legislative Special Family Committee, the victim testified that she went to the police. She got, they didn't do anything. And then the advocate from the coalition didn't show up for the final protection order. And then she got that removed. He went out and bought a gun and then shot her in the face and committed suicide. So that's all important. You guys also haven't mentioned any fraud. What are people doing about the fraud? How many cases are there for fraud? So it's kind of concerning. Yeah. Is there? I sent you guys all an email. My name's Robert Tango. I sent you all an email. There's fraud that's going on in the courts, and what's happening is that women, typically, but sometimes they're lying to get strategic advantage with the civil action. So they're using that, and that data is not being collected. And I think that it's very important. So all of you guys have received my email, and I appreciate you looking at if you guys can respond to it. I don't know your name. It's nothing personal. It's just very important that you guys understand what's actually happening instead of it appears to be covering up some of the stuff that's happening that's been presented. Because 173B is unconstitutional in the right of the accused.
Yes, please.
You have to arrest people.
So actually,
Before you can
if I could recall the email, even if I could get
take away the right to
Yeah, I don't have it, so I'll make
I still think you can do so. What was it?
yeah, thank you.
Bob Quinn, I gave you my
figure out a way to put it on the site.
And
or I can't to my children, but thank you, Bob. Lyn Schollett, I sent you an email. Can you please respond to it? Thank you.
Thank you.
well, how about we make it first attempt and then I'll follow up.
Excuse me, sir. First of all, I appreciate the case. I'm out of Manchester. Do you, what do you guys do for false accusations? Do you guys have any data?
For false accusations as far as nursing.
Yeah,
Well, we collect all the data in-house and it's not reported out. This is obviously a sunshine law request. Then we release that information.
Sunshine? Never.
Well, I'm sorry, 93A.
91A?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and that's also in the Article 8. So what I'm saying, and what in my specific case, but many other cases, is that there's false accusations in the civil court. They get a civil DV, then that makes the police, they're required to arrest for otherwise lawful things, and they're doing it to get strategic advantage in court cases. And so what's happening is the judges are lying, that's provable, especially in my case, and the lawyers are lying, and the mothers typically are lying, and then harassing over and over again, which charges would drop. This is happening in Manchester. I don't know where you're out of.
Warren.
Warren? Okay.
Sumitokas.
Sumitokas. Greek?
Yes.
All right. I work for Greeks. They're tough.
They can be.
Yeah, so I sent an email to the committee. I know that, first of all, domestic violence, it's a crime. Rescue. That's what I want more.
But it's also on the court system to be able to parse that out to get to the truth. 'Cause,
Exactly.
there's been obvious conviction for people who have made false claims in the past. It's not something that's never happened before. So it's something that just have to keep those things in mind. We always want to make sure that the potential victim is safe. That's the first thing. But then after you take those measures, well, then it's for the courts, the police, and whoever else is involved to get to the bottom of that, to find out, is this accurate? Is this true?
Well, so in Manchester, I called on July 25th, 2022. I have the honor recording published and sent it to you guys.
I moved the committee. I don't think I've seen that yet, but
Okay, I sent it. We should get some sort of confirmation. But anyway, I called them, and they told me to go to court to get my rights, when it's actually RSA 633:4, interference with custody. The state doesn't know it. It's a form of domestic violence, and it's a felony when it's over state lines, and it involved a police officer. So, you don't have agency over that. You're in warrant. Manchester Police do. They're getting funding, and I'm dealing with problems with them, and they're being really offsetting. But I think that it's important that the committee knows that there is a chance of fraud, and especially with the civil, I contend that RSA 173B is unconstitutional right of the accused. The thing is, the police need to be empowered, and that's what these funds should go for. You arrest people and intervene, and the whole justice system is built so that it's to reform people. We're not trying to punish them, right? So stop it, arrest them, have the victim, right? But having someone upset and wanting to move on is not domestic violence. Violence is actually in the statutes. It's physical harm or threat of physical harm, which is a crime, man or woman. They're trying to expand. They're trying to expand to matters of opinion, and she's backing down because.
Well, I was going to say, so there's also the physical aspect, but there's also the emotional, the mental aspect of a domestic violence encounter also. And I'm not sure if that's what they're trying. I'm still parsing out exactly what they're.
Okay. If I say, hey, I don't like your bald head,
Right.
thing,
Yeah.
that's going to hurt your feelings, right?
Well, it could.
If we live together, that's not domestic violence.
No.
Domestic violence is.
No,
and
it's
they're
going to
trying
be
to expand it.
exactly, and it's good. I mean,
They're trying to expand it, but not because they make money off of it. And it's very clear.
What do you mean they?
The Domestic Violence Coalition.
Okay.
And that's the problem. They're misusing funds, the federal funds, and I've seen the grants, and there's a DOJ report telling them to collect more stuff, and that's the deal. At the bottom line is, we all want to catch the bad guys, we want to stop them, we want to reform them, but the bad guys are typically, in this arena, it incentivizes people, especially women, to claim that and go through the civil matter because they have no evidence of the police. There was no accusation of physical or sexual abuse. She said that I texted too much and set me up. And then the judge wrote physically and mathematically impossible findings of fact. So now that I haven't seen my kids in a year, I'm allowed to, but what happens is then they take that protective order, and in Manchester, there's another gentleman who's hired a lawyer, and that's why he's not in jail. He got arrested twice and charged 3 times. They dropped all 3 charges after he
You feel
spent.
this because he had the lawyer that was able to parse out
Yes,
those.
the lawyer worked for the county prosecutor. Hillsborough County has a lot of issues with Sununu Youth Center. Those issues.
Those are well documented at this point.
Right, and they were documented prior. Anyways, there's abuse. 633:4 is a crime. When you call up, I want you to look at that. I want all police to know, because all they have to simply do is follow the guidebook. When a missing child is reported, 2020, Gordon McDonald wrote the guidebook, and all the police officers don't think that it's a crime. It's a crime, it's a felony. You can't take a child out, and you don't have to figure that out right away. When someone calls in, you need to make a report. They didn't even make a report.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That was Manchester PD.
That's Manchester PD, and now they're retaliating against me, I believe, and botching investigations because they're covering up the fact that they didn't take a report, and all the people that didn't take a report on.
Interesting.
Yours, I'm Tangway. Officers.
John, just John.
John.
Samatakis.
No, wait, no. It's
I'm
Samatakis.
sorry. What was your name again?
Robert Tangway.
Okay.
Samatakis. Look, I'll give you my card. I'm not afraid of anybody. I'm a good. Well, I am afraid, but I'm not. I'm a good person.
No.
You're being
I didn't take
recorded,
it
by
the
the
wrong
way.
No worries.
And
I take
Is that
for granted every day I walk out of the house and record it.
that's what it's for. And we need to follow our Constitution. Our Constitution's right. Prevent the abuse of power. Have you ever heard of Stanford prison experiment?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
I cited
I mean, they have found some faults in that, and I haven't. No, this is something. To be honest with you, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, I've known of the experiment. I've known the results. I just heard a few weeks ago that it's been called into question those results for different reasons on how it was set up, how the study was set up. I haven't peeled that onion back yet, and that's something I plan on doing.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, anything can be done, but, I mean, this is just common sense stuff. So that's interesting. I actually brought it up in a legal pleading. I'm gonna shut off the recording now.
No worries.